All right, you guys, good morning. I am so excited about today's call. This month, we're focusing on Shakeology as a team, and I jumped in, I think, was it the new leaders page? I don't remember, Central Region, one of them, and I was like, I need someone who is like a guru at Shakeology, and everyone's like, Brandy Stark, she is a rock star, and I was like, okay, I need her. So I reached out and messaged her, and I was like, I hear you're the Shakeology queen. And she was like, well, I don't know about that, but I'm really good at Shakeology, which makes me excited because Shakeology is not my thing. Well, it is, but I'm not super confident with it. So she is going to give us her information that she has to share about Shakeology so that you guys can be really confident in sharing her amazing product. We all know how good it is for us, but sometimes it's hard to put that into work. So I'm going to turn the time over to her and let her get started.
Hi guys. Okay, I'm Brandy Stark. I'm a 2-star diamond, and outside of Beachbody, I have a 16-year-old daughter, a 4-year-old son, and a full-time, really crazy busy job. But I'm like, nutrition is like, I'm kind of a nerd. So nutrition has always been super interesting to me, even like since grade school. We grew up super poor and we could not afford healthy food. But so I would, like, once I was in junior high and high school, I would like use my own money to buy things that, like yogurt. At the time I thought yogurt was like, you know, this crazy healthy thing. And so I'd buy my yogurt myself. So I'm just going to tell you guys why it's absolutely essential to your health, not just your business, but your health, why you drink Shakeology yourself every day. And then hopefully that will help you with your customers on why they need Shakeology and not just some protein shake that they're picking up at Target. So I kind of have notes all over my screen because I want to make sure I cover everything. So if it looks like my eyes are going crazy, that's why. Okay, so I wanted to read this quick little sentence to you. This is from Dr. Fletcher from the Journal of American Medical Association. So, did you know that studies of diet plans using whole food alone found that on average, people were still nutrient deficient by 56%. Even in a perfect world with perfect eating, people do not get the amount of nutrients they need. You would have to consume 27,575 calories to get the 27 essential micronutrients that your body needs, which is impossible, and you can't sustain that. Even people who eat 5 daily servings of fruits and vegetables may not get enough of certain vitamins for optimal health. So that was crazy to me because that study is focusing, it's not talking about people that eat processed foods, it's talking about people that eat whole food diets, and they're still deficient by 56%. Okay, so just a tiny bit of sciencey background, and then I won't bore you with all this stuff, the whole call. But so your food is macronutrients and micronutrients. Macronutrients are your protein, carb, fats, and surprisingly alcohol as a macronutrient. And then your micronutrients are vitamins and minerals. So I never call Shakeology a protein shake because nobody is deficient in protein. Not in this country anyway. Nobody is deficient in protein. And I know protein is the big buzzword in fitness. Everyone wants to know how many grams to eat per body weight, how many grams to eat per lean mass, etc. But we're not deficient in protein. But almost everybody in this country is deficient in micronutrients. And so what leads to micronutrient deficiencies is that our soil has become depleted from over-farming to sustain the population of our country. People are eating very few micronutrient-rich foods. And then gut disorders are becoming really common. Things like you might hear like leaky gut a lot. And so we're not absorbing our food. So then the question you get, well, why can't I just take a vitamin? So 95% of the vitamins that are sold are synthetic, and synthetic means that they're man-made. And because it's man-made, our body does not recognize those components the way it recognizes the micronutrients in food. And so they're not as completely absorbed. They're also, synthetic vitamins are also devoid of trace minerals. And so your body uses its own trace minerals, and that's going to lead to trace mineral deficiencies. And don't worry, I'll get through this science quickly. And then when you take a vitamin from a whole food form, and you're going to isolate just the one compound. Well, when let's take spinach, it's really high in vitamin C, but there's all these other compounds in spinach that make you be able to absorb the vitamin C. But when you isolate vitamin C and just put it in a pill, you're not getting all those other cofactors that make it absorbable. Let me see. Another thing is vitamins are fat soluble and water soluble, and water soluble blood and the liquids in your body, and then the fat soluble go into the fatty tissues in your body. Well, vitamins in a synthetic form can build up in your fatty tissues like liver, and it will cause toxicity. So that's why you can't rely on a vitamin. So hold on here, I want to go over to this other note. Okay, that's done with the sciencey stuff now. Okay, so did you know that for every cell in our body, we have 1,000 bacteria? I'm sorry, let me say that again. For every cell in our body, we have 10 bacteria. So we have 10 times as many bacteria in our body as cells. That is super fascinating to me. And new studies are showing us that the bacteria in our bodies actually dictate our cravings and our moods. So if you feed the good bacteria, you're going to crave more good foods. You're going to be in a better mood. If you feed the bad bacteria, you are going to have bad food cravings, and you're going to, it's going to feed into some of the mood disorders like anxiety, depression, ADD, that kind of thing. So the good bacteria are called probiotics. I'm sure you hear about that, like in yogurt and stuff. Well, the amazing thing about Shakeology is we use a probiotic called Bacillus coagulans. Probiotics are really unstable when they are subject to light. They can break down. They can break down over time, and even once they get in your body, they have to survive the stomach acids in your body to get to where they need to go to do what they do. Most probiotics aren't sturdy enough to do that. Bacillus coagulans is a very hardy strain, and it's been proven that it can actually withstand your stomach acid. You're not going to find that you're going to find your yogurt and it's going to say we've got probiotics, but it's not going to have something like Bacillus coagulans that is actually going to get to where it needs to be. It's going to get in your stomach and it's going to get broken down and not do you any good. Most food manufacturers don't use Bacillus coagulans because it's really high quality, but that means it's really expensive. And they're looking to make a profit. They want to take a buzzword like probiotics, because it's become a big buzzword now. They want to put it on their label and they want to increase their profits. They want everyone buying that because it's got that buzzword on it. They don't care that it's not actually getting into your body where it needs to be. So that's how Shakeology, how our probiotic is different than something that someone's going to buy over the shelf in a pill form or in their yogurt. And you can buy it. You can buy high quality probiotics over the shelf too, for sure, but you're going to pay for it. Mine that I give my son is like $40 for a pack of these probiotics. So think about that when you're thinking about the cost of Shakeology. And then the other thing that it's important, when you get these probiotics in your body, the good bacteria, well, now you want to feed them because you want them to grow and proliferate and crowd out the bad bacteria. And so then what you need is prebiotics. Prebiotics are food for probiotics. And so Shakeology has prebiotics in it. First, they get the probiotics in you and they pick a very hardy strain that gets where it needs to be. But then they put prebiotics in there to feed those probiotics. And like your chicory root fiber that's in Shakeology, that's going to be your prebiotic. So once all this study about the bacteria dictating like your cravings and mood is kind of new stuff. But now the more I learn about it, that's why I put the first thing I eat every day is Shakeology, because I'm literally setting myself up to crave good foods the rest of the day. Versus if you eat like pancakes or a bagel or something, you're going to set up your bacteria to crave more of that stuff later in the day. Another cool thing that we do is the type of protein that we use in our shakes. So there are 7 grades of whey protein. And if you're just going to Target or Walmart or whatever and just buying like the biggest tub you can for the cheapest price, you're just getting one grade, one level above like livestock feed. So you got livestock feed and then you got the cheap stuff at Walmart, and then it just keeps going up from there. There's 2 types of whey protein. There's whey protein isolate and whey protein concentrate. We use isolate, and that's because whey protein isolate is superior to concentrate. When you have an isolate, the protein content is 90 to 94%, versus in the concentrate, it's only 80 to 80% protein. The other cool thing about using whey protein isolate is that it has almost no lactose in it. So you'll have people that are lactose intolerant, and they'll, let's say they want to try you can offer the vegan formulas, of course, but let's say they really want the cafe latte and they're worried about their lactose issues. Very likely it won't bother them. I can't have dairy, and I drink the normal Shakeology, and that's because it has almost no lactose, and that's what bothers people that are intolerant to dairy. So, if you get somebody like that, just send them a packet and tell them break the packet into 2 servings. Try half the next day and see how it bothers them. Okay, so the other thing that you'll hear that we have in Shakeology are digestive enzymes. So digestive enzymes are what breaks down your food and makes it so that your body can absorb it, and digestive enzymes will fight inflammation. So when you eat raw food, like fruits and vegetables, they have enzymes in them, built in, and they help your body break down that food so that you're getting all the vitamins and nutrients out of that food and absorbed into your body. But because we eat such high processed diets and everything is cooked and fried and microwaved and what have you, we've killed the enzymes in the food. And so now when we eat those things, they're going to pull the enzymes from our body. And then there's studies that show that starting at the age of 20, the enzymes that you have naturally in your body decrease by 13% every decade, I think it is. So by the time you're 40, you have like 25% less of these enzymes that you did when you were a child. Obviously, it just keeps getting worse from there. Well, Shakeology adds these enzymes back into the shake, and so now that's going to help build back up your body's own supply. Not only is it going to help you break down the Shakeology and get the maximum nutrients out of that, but it's going to help reestablish the supplies that you have in your body, so that the next time you do eat like a frozen pizza or whatever, and you got to pull from your own stores, you've got that available to you. Another one of our ingredients, adaptogens. So pretty much everyone I know lives a high stress life anymore. It's just the times that we're in. And whenever you're under stress, your body secretes a hormone called cortisol. And cortisol is considered an aging hormone. It ages you. And in ancient Chinese medicine, it's actually called the death hormone, because cortisol will literally just eat you up. It will just slowly kill you if you're under stress for a long time. Well, adaptogens fight stress. And the way they do this, adaptogens mean adapt. So these are items, our adaptogens are like the holy basil, our mushrooms, astragalus, I can't think of the ashwagandha. Those are our adaptogens. So these things grow in like really harsh conditions typically, and in order for them to survive, they literally have to, as a plant, adapt to what's around them. And then they do the same thing when they get in our body. They don't do something specific, like the way calcium does something very specific. It builds our bones and it builds our teeth. Well, adaptogens kind of just get in our body and adapt to whatever we need them to do at that time. So whatever specific stressor you have going on, your adaptogens meet that need for you. Let's see. I thought this was kind of cool. Holy basil in India, they call it the elixir of anti-aging. And like our mushrooms that we have in Shakeology are antioxidants. Well, oxidation, think of your car rusting, that's oxidizing. And so when we have that going on inside our body, which stress is a huge oxidizer for us, so you're like kind of like rusting out inside, and then these adaptogens will help fight all that. Okay, so we have fiber, chia, flax, pea fiber. Fiber is two kinds of things. It's insoluble fiber or soluble. Insoluble fiber does not dissolve. And so it kind of, as it goes to your body, it kind of acts like a scrub brush, and it kind of like scrubs the insides and picks off what needs to get out. And then the soluble fiber kind of like it dissolves in water, and then it makes sort of like a gel, and that helps to fill you up, keeps you full longer, and it stabilizes your blood sugar. So that's a bonus for diabetics, especially. Okay, iodine. This one is really exciting to me because the main purpose of iodine is to help your thyroid function. And iodine, nobody gets enough iodine anymore. And in Shakeology, I think, I just looked at the chocolate. I didn't look at each one, and they might vary a little bit. But in the chocolate, we get 35% of our iodine from chocolate Shakeology. That's huge because especially like once you hit 40, almost every 40 and above year old woman that I know has thyroid issues, in some varying degree. Okay, so that's kind of some of the ingredients and why you need to fuel your body every day, because these micronutrients, your body does not make them. The only way you can get them is through food. And because they're required in such small amounts, you have to be constantly replenishing them, because we don't get 130 grams of magnesium the way we do protein. We get very small little amounts. Our body uses them, and then we need to bring that back in. One thing I wanted to tell you, a lot of times I'll have people try Shakeology and they'll tell me that they don't like the taste of it. We're talking about a chocolate shake, and they're getting it and they're expecting it to taste like something from Dairy Queen or Wendy's. What I always tell people is that's because our shakes are completely natural, and our palates are as Americans, we eat processed foods with scientists are paid a lot of money to make our food something that we literally crave. They put components in our food that make us come back for more, and it's all artificial. And so once we start eating a more whole food diet, which Shakeology is, we're not used to that taste. And so you have to kind of reset your palate. So really encourage people to give it a full 7 days at least, and like 7 consecutive days. I know when I started it, I absolutely hated it the first 5 days, and I was already a pretty clean eater. And then like on day 6, something literally just clicked, and I was addicted after that. So that's the big thing to tell them. You just got to reset your palate. You're just used to lab-based taste, and that's not what this is. This is all nature. Something else I like to do when I start a challenge group for any of my challengers that are doing Shakeology for the first time, I like to tell them at the beginning of their challenge to make a list of everything that's bothering them. Like, I'm tired in the afternoon. I'm bloated after every meal. I have acne. I'm breaking out all the time. Just whatever you can think of. Before I started Shakeology, I had terrible insomnia for like 6 months. And after 30 days of Shakeology, my insomnia was gone. So just any random thing that they can think of, anything that ails them, write it down at the beginning of the 30 days, drink your Shakeology for a full 30 days, and then make a new list and then compare them. How many things were you able to take off of your list? And this is going to be important because when we start drinking Shakeology, we start to get better in degrees. It's not a night and day thing. We're slowly replenishing all these lost micronutrient stores in our body, and so we just feel better very subtly. But it's all cumulative. So eventually, after I think I read one time, and this was a couple years ago, but I think the average new customer stays on Shakeology for 90 days is the average. So what happens is, think about this, 90 days later, we're feeling good. And so now we don't need that Shakeology anymore in our minds. So when you have people make these lists, now when they you see their home direct shop are stopped. So now you can contact them and say, hey, I notice you aren't doing your Shakeology anymore. Was there something that you didn't like about it, or was it a cost thing? Because I know when you first started, you made that list, and I know that list, you had your digestion was so much better, and you had said that was really huge for you. So I just wanted to make sure if it was a cost thing, I can help show you how you can get it for less money. But if they've made that list and then they check in with you, hopefully you have it like in your Facebook Messenger, and you can go back and review it and then contact them and get them to remember how they used to feel. So in addition to what's in Shakeology, what's also important is what's not in Shakeology. Soy. A lot of times companies will use soy protein because it's really, really cheap. It's a cheap filler. And then they can put on their label that they've got 15 or 18 or 20 grams of protein. But soy is one of the most genetically modified crops in our country, and it's one of the most heavily sprayed crops. So I would avoid soy, definitely. While we're speaking about soy, this is kind of interesting. So a lot of network marketing companies will start out as a business first and a product second. So a couple of guys, girls will get together and they're like, okay, we're going to create this company. It's going to be a network marketing company, but now we need a product. So now let's go create a product. So obviously the health and fitness industry is huge. So let's say they decide to come up with this protein shake is their product. Well, they have a very specific price point they're working off a price point, and typically like $80 to $90 is the price point for multi-level marketing companies or auto ship orders. So what they're going to do is they're going to try to create a protein shake that costs $80. And one of the first thing they're going to do is cut their whey, or they're not going to use whey protein isolate. They're going to use soy because it's cheap. They're not going to use Bacillus coagulans because that's too expensive. They're going to use a cheap probiotic if they use a probiotic at all. It's all going to be all about being able to put these things on the label while still staying within a certain price point. And when Shakeology was created, Carl told Darren Oline, he's the formulator of Shakeology, he said, I don't want you to worry about price. I just want you to focus solely on what people need for nutrition in their bodies. That's why Shakeology is a little bit more expensive than some of the other shakes that you'll see on the market in this kind of business. Okay, so that's soy. The other thing you'll see in some of these shakes, I don't know, like I'm not bashing another company. I'm just, the one that comes to mind right now in my area is Thrive as a company. So they have soy, and the other thing that they like to promote is that they have no sugar in their shake. I'm pretty sure Thrive says no sugar. Well, that's because they're using artificial sweeteners. Anytime you see no sugar, it's because they're taking a man-made chemical, pulling out sugar, which sugar, yes, we need to manage our sugar, but sugar is still a real food. Our body recognizes it and knows what to do with it. They're taking that out and they're sticking a chemical in there so they can put 0 sugar on their label. And then the same with artificial flavors. You never want to have anything with artificial flavors. Obviously, it's the same thing as what we just talked about with sugar. You're taking out real food and replacing it with chemicals. And that's another reason why when people will say they don't like the taste of Shakeology is because we are using real flavoring. And then, okay, so this is just a random comment while we're talking about flavoring. So sometimes even natural flavoring can kind of fly under the radar of what you can call something and get away with it. A lot of vanilla flavored shakes that say natural flavoring are flavored with the secretions of beaver anal glands. That creates a vanilla flavor, and that goes in a lot of food. So obviously that's not something that Shakeology uses in our vanilla flavoring either. So that's kind of it for my list. There's obviously 70 ingredients, and no, I have one more thing. Okay, so the next thing you're gonna get is why is Shakeology organic? Is it certified organic? No, and the reason is because in order to do that, we would have to certify every single one of our ingredients. All 70 of our ingredients would have to be certified, and that would be extremely expensive, and then truly nobody would be able to afford Shakeology. Okay, so that's really it. Unless you guys have any questions, then I can try to answer them. I don't know if I'll answer, but I can try.
Oh my gosh, I have notes. Yeah, no, I could not have done this call. This is really amazing. I'm pretty sure everyone's just like, I didn't know this. I don't know. So good. Thank you for jumping on. Does anyone have any questions really quick? I know she has a meeting she's got to get to, but if you have a question, you can comment. If you don't, or you have one later, just message me or post it in the team page and I can pass it on to Brandy and she'll answer it, I'm sure. This was seriously amazing. I have actually, you started talking about iodine, and I've been researching that because my kids are iodine deficient and it's caused a lot of issues for them behaviorally. So that was really good to hear. So I can't think of anything else. I'm just blown away by all of the awesome knowledge, and the vanilla freaked me out. So good to know. But thank you for jumping on. Everyone else, thanks for getting on, taking time out of your day. If you can, go show her some love on her page because she is amazing. So yes, I know Brittany is doing a 411 on Shakeology in her challenge group. So yes, she'll probably have questions, and this is a good start. So yes, well, enjoy your day, everyone. Thank you for getting on, Brandy. We love you. Show her some love on her Facebook because she deserves it because she's a rock star. So yeah, have a good day, everyone.
Thanks, guys.